chambers that you see here, Matt, just for your information, those are basically the chambers of the leaders of these dark folk that had been forming some sort of cult here. Um, and then there was this barricaded door to the south where you've spent a couple of hours removing the barricade to be able to open that door again. And beyond that door, I guess to your surprise, I would say, I would certainly be surprised, lay not just more of the underground complex, but actually a giant cavern, a fungal forest inside with mushrooms the size of very tall trees. Um, there is bioluminescent moss in various places that like faintly illuminates the whole chamber. Let me see what's here. I just want to give you, there's multiple areas here, and you're kind of coming into this from a very particular perspective. And I want to make sure I get the dimensions of this right, because the ceiling of the cavern that is opening up in front of you is 50 feet overhead. So you're really, really
Okay.
far down for a cavern of this size to be possible. And you spot remains of old paths here and there, but most of them are covered with clumps of smaller fungus or patches of pale, slimy things. Um, it's so overgrown with fungus that there's actual spores drifting through the air. Um, and yeah, everything is just covered in fungi of all shapes and sizes, from regular mushrooms near the cavern floor all the way to like towering, like redwood sized mushrooms that like
Damn.
touch the ceiling high above. So
Okay.
I think some of you had at some point remembered something about the Darklands, so I would assume that there's like it's this mythic uh stories that people might talk about, or how people might talk about the Darklands and like myth and legends. So you can't really tell fact from fiction, but this is what those stories describe. Like almost, I don't know if your characters would be able to make that connection, but almost like an alien planet, but deep in the bowels of the earth, or of Galarian, I guess. Um, yeah, so that's where you find yourself after
Okay.
opening that door.
My
Uh,
vision is a little wonky, right? In the as a token.
okay, let
I
me
don't
see if I
see
can.
any of the party. I don't know if it's.
Oh, do you not have?
It might. I don't
Okay,
know.
so hang on. You're the owner of this. That should be correct. And you see your own token though?
Yes. Where did I go? Well, I did on the docks over here. I don't know if I'm with. Maybe I'm not with
Oh, you're on the
everyone.
docks. Okay, no, then there's a. Then I should have probably deleted the token. You may have two tokens on this map.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, there you are. Gotcha. You're gone. Now you should. Let me
There we go.
center
Okay.
you.
Perfect.
You see it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I,
So
I was
go
gonna
around.
say this does not look like the room you were describing. Now it does. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that is where we are basically dropping right back in.
Are we going into the shroom cavern?
I mean, we can if you want. I'm just giving you fair warning that I'm a little light on magical potential at the moment. That last big fight really took a lot out of me, so I'll be back here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Offering a lot of moral support.
Yeah, my own combat spirit was quite sapped by these heavy rocks. Like someone will like kick one of those rocks that they should probably help to haul.
Do you guys need a? Do we need a minute then? Do we want to wait?
I mean, we've spent
Well,
already like several hours. I think it, what we are hinting in is that we probably should go back up.
I'm good with that.
Okay, if everyone agrees on that, then that's what you do.
Sure.
And you retrace your steps back up, all the way up and out,
Yeah.
and back to
By the
Ottardo.
way, before we, while we are going up, I mean, we probably could try to activate one of the portals again. So our travel would be shortened even further. I don't remember where we left deactivated portals at this point, but there's at least a couple. I think we still left.
I also forgot to ask about level up decisions. And Matt, I also forgot to let you know that everyone has leveled up, so there's
Okay.
2 feat decisions to be made, I believe.
Yeah, well, I've dropped my options into to your DMs in Discord.
Oh, you did? I don't think I got a notice about that. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right. Where was that teleporter chamber? Or which? Is there one on this level? I don't think so. I don't think you found one on this level, have you?
Probably not. I think we still didn't activate the one in the devil level.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Okay. Do you want to?
Actually, speaking of teleports, maybe we could take a careful look. Maybe we could find a teleport on this level as well.
So you do want to keep exploring?
Within reason. Retrace our steps while carefully looking around.
All right, let me find the one on the devil chamber that I remember that you tried twice already to open that up. There it is. Okay, so
I think we never actually. Oh, sorry. I think we have never actually followed this corridor, right?
Somehow,
you have not.
Okay, let's make it the last one, okay? I have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, that's never gone poorly for anyone ever. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to, I'll go first.
As Sandy takes the lead here, and the light of Ottardo's, I think Ottardo is providing the light for you, falls into the end of this corridor. You see a winding staircase circling its way down into the darkness.
Oh boy.
Oh. So it's not a teleport chamber then? Well.
I mean, it's like a manual teleport chamber, right?
Yeah.
You just walk downstairs.
Yeah.
Do you want to go down or?
No, thank you.
Go down, right?
Although.
Okay.
Although I think at this point Souma will suspiciously start checking up this one long wall in case if it has secret doors.
Okay.
Do I make a seek action?
Yeah. Well, I think it's search, but that doesn't matter. Just roll a perception check, private.
Like this? Okay.
There we are. Yeah, I mean, you're suspicious of this very long, very straight wall, but you find nothing that would make you think that there's anything hidden in it.
Hmm.
All right, should we go and try the portal on the level above?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to that ritual, it takes an hour. It's arcana or occultism, and remember that aiding is possible, but you have to succeed to not make it worse. So only a critical success is actually helpful. So who wants to do a main roll, and then who wants to aid?
What were the skills again?
Oh,
Arcana or occultism, but they all have to be the same. The
My
secondary
occultism,
and the primary.
yeah, my occultism is 13.
Yeah, I don't know
I mean, I
anything
could do
about
it,
that
but
stuff.
you wouldn't like it if I did it.
Does it have to do with trees? No.
So I guess it will have to be some after all. Okay, guys, stand back. Oh, it sends to private. Yeah, I meant this one.
Are you rolling?
Yes.
There it is.
So she pulls out this book, starts reading from it, and trying to connect various spell engrams around the chamber.
Okay. Did the book give you a bonus? Did I say something about that?
No, but that's the book from which we learned this ritual to begin with.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me bring up the map of that room. For no reason at all.
Souma, what did you do? You woke it up. I don't know what it is, but it's awake now.
Why don't we... So Soma has to be in the chamber because she's the one performing the ritual. Is everybody
Because
else in
Augrel's
this one?
on there, I have.
Sandy and Bark. Oh, okay. You changed the token for Sandy. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, feel free to put yourself in position. I guess Ottardo would probably be guarding the rear here. Bark, Sandy, choose your position
Yeah,
as
Sandy's probably just
Soma is.
guarding us, I guess.
Wow, Sandy, that's
Actually,
a
he
bit of a
probably
blow up.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so you all kind of like watching the hallway. I mean, this level has been conquered, but you never know what might slink through the hallways of the abomination vaults, and maybe there's something left that you missed the first time you came through, especially because there's still that witchfire creature and all of those monsters held in stasis. So the danger on this level is not completely gone for sure. So it makes sense for you to guard. But Soma is focusing on the ritual, and she spends an hour, and you hear her like read from the book every now and then. It's like, what does this mean exactly? And she's practicing the pronunciation for a while until she finally feels like, okay, this is the time to do it. And she performs the ritual, and you can feel that it's working. Like the room is resonating. The silver dust that's in those little nooks and crannies of the carvings in the floor and the walls, it starts to glisten, but then it takes a dark turn.
Oh.
And the glittering light that is kind of resonating with Soma's words starts to take on almost the opposite property, where instead of producing glittering light, it kind of sucks in the light around it and it turns dark. And Soma, you can feel the air inside the chamber get heavy and kind of start weighing down on you as something starts to rise up from the floor in a dark cloud that slowly takes shape. You immediately stop your incantations, or you try to, but your mouth just kind of keeps going because now the spell is taking on a life on its own and wants to be finished. And then a creature appears right in front of you. And it's so big. It's essentially filling out the entire chamber. It's a menacing, towering, vaguely humanoid creature, wrapped in shadow and reeking of death. And that's a critical failure, my friends. So let's see where we're going with this. We'll have some initiatives. Add everyone to the tracker. And I'll roll for everyone. And actually, Soma, I will use your occultism check as your initiative. And we'll roll for everyone else. And I guess I forgot to add Sandy. Okay. All right. And so, obviously, I did not necessarily prepare for this creature. So give me a minute to understand what it does and what its stick is.
Yeah, like.
Okay, so the first thing I would need Soma, Ottardo, and Birke to do is roll a fortitude save.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah, you can stop rolling private.
yeah, I've set it in the chat as private, so it rolls automatically.
Does stick need to roll as well?
Yes, please. Do I need to put stick on the map? Probably. Here we go.
Do I want to use the hero point already?
First roll.
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's see it.
That's
Better.
better.
Stick.
Stick. Fortitude. Where's stick's fortitude? There it is. Stick.
Oh
stick.
no!
That's critical. Okay, let's see if there's. Okay, it's actually not a basic save, so it could be much worse. That looks like everyone's succeeded. Where's Soma's? Yes, also success except for Stick. So Stick is drained 1 as it feels like the creature is feeding off of Stick's very much vitality essence. So that's one thing that happens. What else can it do? Okay. Okay. All right. So in order to not overcomplicate things with places that space and area and stuff like that, it is going to kind of, is it? Yes, it is. So it flows straight through the wall, giving away its incorporeal nature, and into the hallway, where it then, I guess, finally coalesces into its true and complete shape, which looks like this. And it's like shadowy, wavery hands.
Oh my god.
Like it expands them and reaches out and tries to touch Birke, but before that, I realized that I need to ask Sandy for a save now too, because the creature moved and now Sandy is within the
Fortitude.
aura. Yes. That is a success.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's okay. So it moved as one action, and as the second action, it reaches out, trying to touch Birke, targeting you. Missing. And with its third action, doesn't have any spells. Okay. It was third action. It tries it one more time and fails. Okay. Off to a bad start, but could be much worse. All right, Ottardo is going to what does he like to do? Well, he'll step forward, he'll target the thing, he'll try to strike it with his ghost touch flake mace, doing 17 points of damage to it, and then he will raise his shield. And that's his turn. Sandy.
Okay, Sandy is going to rage. And then he is going to move. Get around him. And then he's going to bring down his striking maul.
You need to apply the rage effect.
Oh, I thought I did click it.
You click the rage, but then you have to say apply effect as well.
Oops. Wait, sorry. Hold on.
Do you have it?
No, where do I click it again? Sorry.
So in the chat, there's the rage action that you took, and there it says apply effect.
Oh, there we go.
Yes. Okay. All right. And you scored a hit and did 13 points of damage, which seemed to go all completely through. So do you? Yes, you also have a ghost touch weapon by now. So you.
Well, because I have spirit rage, which makes my weapon a ghost touch when I'm raging.
Oh, very nice. Okay, but as you move past it, though, it is going to kind of like in passing try to caress your shoulder, and it actually does succeed in doing so, causing 14 points of damage from you, which feels like actual just life drain.
Oh, that's bad touch.
Hand strike. So, and it seems to feast on that, so it gains these temporary hit points, and you must do this fortitude save.
Okay.
Nice.
Which you succeed. Okay, so even though it manages to steal some of your vitality, you have plenty to spare.
Yeah, you can't take away my essence. It's too raw.
It's raw. All right, was that 3 actions?
That was.
Okay, Bark.
He's gonna attempt to identify this creature.
All right. Yeah, religion, or do you have undead lore, incorporeal lore, something like that?
I have forest lore.
No.
Religion. Okay, well that's probably not gonna go great.
Yeah, you don't know what this thing is.
Okay.
But it's not that low, so I would think that you would think it's some kind of ghost apparition.
Okay. Can he? Is that I know he failed, but is it enough for him to take a stab at what kind of magic this thing is using?
Is it using magic? I don't think you've seen it use magic.
Well, there's some sort of magical effects going on with the saves and stuff. It's draining people.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'll let you make a guess.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna guess occult. I don't know if that's even close to right. It's either that or divine, I guess, because undead are typically.
You can roll a d2 if you want to make it a random choice, but I'm happy to go with whatever you pick.
Shoot.
Do the dice so you don't have to feel bad about getting it wrong.
Fine. One is occult, 2 is divine.
Okay.
Occult. Oh, look, it even gives a little coin toss.
Oh, yeah.
Occult. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a Menhir that will grant a +2 bonus against any effect that has the occult trait on it. Saving throws, that is. Saving throws against any effect with the occult trait.
All right.
Come on, 15 feet.
Then we select it. Cool. Okay.
And it's in this square. And then, yeah, you can apply it to yourself, because I guess it doesn't automatically apply it. I guess we'll find out in a second if anyone gets any bonuses. And I guess that's all 3 of my actions, because I tried to identify it, so I'm done.
All right. And I remember we were going to start trying to have you guys end your turn, so I don't have to ask about actions.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's continue to try to do that. Thank you. Souma.
Alright, speaking about occult effects, let's start with trying to protect ourselves. So Souma immediately starts the sound effects with Inspired Defense, Railing Anthem. And with
And there's no wall. Sorry, there's no like I still get it, right? Because I can hear you. I don't have to, like,
yeah, yes, it should be like this, yeah.
Just double check.
And with the rest of her actions, she will like strongly present the holy symbol of Erastil that she has on her neck, and will say go back to the shadow and cast Vitality Lash.
Vitality Lash. And succeeds at save, but still. Let's see the damage.
It gets at least something.
And it does take half of that. And then it's its turn. Okay, what have we seen? We've seen Sandy having a ghost touch weapon, Ottardo having a ghost touch weapon, and Souma with the Vitality Lash. All of those things bother it. So I think it's just gonna, it'll like swing its head around. You can see these glowing red eye-like things deep in the recesses of its hood. There is no creature in there, only manifest evil. And we'll see which one it takes. So we'll have Souma, Ottardo, Sandy in that order. Okay, Ottardo is gonna get targeted. It'll step away and over here though. And then it'll target Ottardo and reach out with its hand, missing the first time, hitting the second time for 21 points of damage, which Ottardo has to take. I think he can only protect others, but
well,
not himself, ironically.
He did erase his shield, right?
Oh, wait, he can block it. You're right. So I think that's what he would do. He usually does it.
Does that movement provoke a reactive strike?
No,
or is it only a... Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to block it, but it doesn't come through somehow. Okay, so then I'm just going to take that damage. I don't want to mess with this right now. It'll be okay, I'm sure. And that was its turn. Ottardo... He's already seen this thing do attacks of opportunity, so I think he would be hesitant to make a full-on stride. So instead he'll step over here, which means that it's still within range of his flick mace, I think, right? Doesn't that thing have a 10-foot reach? I thought he had a reach. Yeah. And then he'll target it from the second row here. Striking, but missing, and then raising his shield. And then it's Sandy.
Okay, Sandy is going to step and then swing with his striking maul.
Critical hit.
Nice.
See that damage.
Oh, wait,
Ooh.
yeah, okay. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah, with one brutal swing of your maul, you slam the creature's hand. Its fingers crumble. A ring
Amazing.
falls down, weirdly.
Oh,
Not really. It's just that
all
this
right.
is
And I'll do one
And-
more attack. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead. And you have one
Okay.
action left. Yeah. Another hit.
Okay.
And you really
And that's my
pummeling
turn.
this thing to destruction.
You're
You don't try and take my essence, bro.
Right, there's this little fast forward button at the combat carousel at the top that you can click when your turn is done, and that should end your turn.
Got it. Okay.
Bark.
Bark is gonna do probably the only other useful thing he can do and try to vitality lash this thing.
That has the manipulate trait though, so it'll, as you focus on the spell, it uses the opportunity and make a reactive strike,
Ouch.
grasping at you for 16 points, which gives it 10 temporary hit points, and forces you to make a fortitude save.
Do I get a
And-
+2 to the save?
We'll see.
Alright, well, it's not factored in here, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, you can feel it just channel your vitality out of your body, and you feel drained by the experience. But you can still continue your spell because it's not a disruptive action.
Okay. And can I tell if my Menhir had any effect at helping to shield me or not?
You didn't sense any.
Okay. Then yeah, let's finish the vitality. So it's a fortitude save that it makes.
Is there a prompt already? Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Succeeds, but it will take half damage.
Yep.
Yes.
So
And-
after accounting for the temporary hit points, that's 1 point of damage. And I think Bark will try to back away a little bit, just a little bit here, and Stick can come along.
Alright, I mean, you know it has used its reactive strike, so just saying,
Oh yeah, you can move.
if you didn't want to just step, this would be a great opportunity to stride.
Oh no! Oh well, that's true. My Menhir's not doing anything, so I guess I'll back up a little further. I was like, oh, I still need to stay in its aura, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Alright,
Okay, I'm done.
so that'll be Soma.
Alright, I have a good feeling about this. Let's continue. So we'll just repeat the previous one, so renew the rallying anthem. And try to vitality lash this thing completely. I need to thank Bark for, well, taking the opportunity attack.
Yeah, no problem, anytime.
I tell you, Ash, there it is. It tries to save.
There we
Oh,
go.
it fails its save. Bad. Bad.
Oh,
Okay, roll, but is it enough? It is. As your
Nice.
vitality lash, as your spell lashes out, it just strikes the thing, and with a shrieking sound, it for a moment there, it looks almost as if it becomes solid, and then there's these bright cracks that form, and it just shatters and is gone. That's
And
30
that's
XP for everyone.
Nice.
Thank you, Souma.
Yeah, I mean, I meant to do that. All that, of course. Yeah, but as this thing discorporates, like, Soma will forcefully close the Tome of Teleportation. It's like, with emphatic curse, she will like say, like, you know what? Screw this. We go up. I'm fighting a specialist about this shit, and I'm be consulting an actual summoner to see why this shit constantly happens here.
I forgot to also give you
Amazing.
Stupefy 1 as the caster of the spell, because the drawing the creature in by accident is on top of the magical backlash that leaves you Stupefy 1 for 24 hours. Okay. So I assume that means you give up your efforts to awaken the portal.
Yes.
Oh, so it didn't work. That's what
It
that
did
means.
not.
Got it.
There was a critical failure of trying that.
No, Sammy didn't
Oh.
understand. I was joking. Right. Old-fashioned way up, then?
Yes.
Yeah, you just. I guess it's leg day.
It's always leg day.
And yeah, it takes quite some time. By the time you're back in Otari, it is late evening. Town is already quiet. It's a weekday, so it's, people are expecting a busy day the next day. At least I think it is. I always forget what the weekdays mean. Anything you want to do tonight, or should we skip ahead to the next day?
I think Sandy's good.
Well, for this day we probably primarily have to rest, and if we have the next day, Soma, well, she intended to do some research in the town before we go in.
I'm gonna have to gather some ingredients for my elixirs and sleep off this drained condition.
AKA, Soma needs time to justify her level up.
Okay. Speaking of level up, did you already make some choices, Anthony?
Yes,
yeah, I did.
Okay. Matt, do you feel prepared
I'm
to make
still looking.
Okay.
I can make them very soon, but yeah, I'm still looking.
That's good
I
enough.
actually realized I've been giving myself too many spell slots as a druid. For some reason, I thought I got 4 slots per spell rank, but I only get 3. So
Dirty
I have
cheater.
I have a lot less spells than I realized.
All right, back to book 1. Do over. Okay. So we'll move to the next day. And as you gather at the Crook's Nook, which has become, I guess, your daily morning meeting, you take stock and prepare for the next delve. Anything you want to do in town before we go?
I just need to focus on what spells I'm gonna prepare today.
Okay. I'll give you a chance to do that.
Yeah,
In the meantime, I can see it.
And then next time Soma shows up to the meeting, everyone would notice that she has a weird rune painted on her forehead.
Did you get some face paint? I like it.
You got something on there. You got it. You want me to help rub that off?
No. This is a thing that will help us later. I mean, if someone will say she and I've met one very smart halfling nearby who he for some reason he said that he's a priest of Talmandor and he said that this rune appears every time that he summons something successfully. So this thing will definitely help us later.
It looks badass too.
Thank you.
All right. And looking badass, we're gonna move back into the vaults. Where are we going? Right back to the level that we just left? Or the level with the teleporter? Where do you want to pick up?
I think we're not gonna touch teleporters for a while. I think,
Alright,
did
so back to the...
did Stupefy goes away or it's still up?
After 24 hours, so it'll go away in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we head on back into the vaults. Takes a few hours to get there. And where do you want to continue? Basically right where we left off, that door that leads to the mushroom cave, or anywhere else?
I think there, yeah.
Well, what can possibly go wrong? Yeah.
Okay. So let me put you there. And one of you would need a light spell or similar, because right now I don't see anyone having any.
Mm-hmm.
Someone got some light.
Well, as usual, like so many Ottardo will probably provide the light.
There it is. Okay, so I'll put that on Ottardo. Here we go. Okay. Oh, this is still the wrong Sandy. Here's the right one. Much better. And I'll let Sandy take the lead here. There we go. Okay, yeah, so you open the door once again. The like musky smell of all the fungus beyond washes into the hallway. And you still take in that view, that awe-inspiring giant cavern and those monstrous mushrooms that are sprouting out of the ground and out of the walls, and the eerie light of the bioluminescent mosses and whatnot make the experience even more almost dreamlike. What do we do?
I think I'm still on the town map. I'm not sure if others are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's correct. Now
Don't
I'm
go
activating.
anywhere.
There we go.
Well, before we go any further, oh, actually, hang on. I need to rest. Where's my rest for the day? Rest.
Oh, yep.
There we go. No longer. And Stick needs to rest. Oh, I can't make Stick rest. He doesn't have a rest thing. But I can get rid of Drained. All right. Oh. Get more hit points. Leveled up. Right, as I was saying, before we go any further, I've prepared a special spell for the occasion. Actually, it only lasts a minute, so I'll wait until we know what's going on in there.
Okay. All right. Everyone ready?
Okay, you step fully into the cavern and take it all in.
Oh
And
boy.
let me tell you a little bit about what you see, because as you can tell, it's quite the vast environment here. Let's start in the southeast. So to the southeast, you see that there's one of those overgrown paths that lead there, but it ends at what almost, well, I guess you can quite see it, but I'll give it to you anyway. If you take a few steps to the east here, you would be able to see that there's a door at the end of this path that leads west. And on the other side over here, you can see a large boulder covered with something like carvings of some kind, maybe like cave painting. It's hard to tell from a distance, but definitely not just fungus. In the other direction, right over here, kind of at the center of the whole cavern, there's this sort of crossroads of those various overgrown paths. And here, the towering fungi around the overgrown paths are laced in thick webbing. And in that webbing, you can see a few, more denser shapes. Humanoid, maybe? But it's too shrouded in webs to see clearly what it is. Finally, all the way to the west, you can see some sort of bridge leading out of this central part of the chamber. Hang on here. In that area, the floating spores are particularly thick, and they've taken on a reddish hue, and they're kind of shifting as though in a wind. Although right now, where you're standing here, you don't feel any wind. And anything else? Give me a moment. Okay. You also see over here, there's the walls of the cavern are mostly natural rock, pretty clearly, and the only human-made or like man-made structures that you can tell so far are the bridge over here. You see some sort of chains, also some heavy chains, and then there's this strange section of the cavern wall over here that is just sheer stone, but it's like a perfect round semicircular shape and smooth. To the north, the cavern extends even further, but as far as your light and as far as you can see, there are it's just like fungus upon fungus and more of these overgrown paths, but nothing stands out to you beyond that. So that's where you find yourself.
Okay. Well, there's lots of options, at least. Places, which way to go. You guys point me in the direction.
You're the leader right now, says Ottardo. No, not that way. No.
Oh wow.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know where to start. Which way do we want to go? There's two doors down here, right? And then there's this ominous webbing.
Wait a second. Hang on. Sorry. Give me 1 minute. Here we go. Apologies. I just needed to fix something, and then I need to cast a spell. spell. Where are you? There we go.
Wonderful.
Nice. Nice.
Don't have many opportunities to make
Yep.
use of this down here, but might as
Hell
well.
Most normal plants and fungi have a distinctive view of the world around them, so they don't recognize the dead world before or anything about the world beyond their immediate vicinity. Cunning plant or fungus monsters are likely to be terse and evasive, while less intelligent ones often make inane comments. Okay. And this is, you cast this on yourself, not on the plant that you try to talk to?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So then, as you cast it on yourself, and walk into the cavern, there's this crop of fungi right here of like, I would say they're probably like your height, so they're, between 5 and 8 feet tall. That as you walk into the cavern with this spell on you, you can hear them whisper, and you can hear them go like, "Oh, look at these folks! Oh, I haven't seen anyone like this in a while. They're so colorful, interesting. Everyone else just seems so muted in comparison. Well, I don't see that every day. Oh well."
Stick spreads his arms wide and he goes, "Greetings, fungal friends."
Oh, did you just hear that? Yes, I did. I just heard that. Does that weird creature, can it hear us? I don't know. Can it? Nobody else can
Yes,
hear us.
indeed, I am speaking to you.
I think it can hear us. I think it's talking to you.
I can hear you.
That is quite surprising. You can hear the fungi rustle and chatter amongst them, and then finally they say, we have decided that we can hear you too.
Excellent. I'm glad we're in agreement on that point. My name is Birke. This here is my friend Stick, and we're just passing through this cavern. Don't mean to do any harm or anything like that. We're just we're trying to understand a little bit about what's going on here. Do you know anything about those giant webs?
Webs. Oh, they are within, not it's not sight, but within their immediate environment, I guess. So they would know, and they would say, "Oh, yes, the webs. Yes, they've been there for quite some time. Sometimes their maker comes and checks on them.
Oh, and who might I ask is their maker?
It's the creature that lives up near the ceiling in a crack."
Oh, that's good to know. What? Bark starts looking around at the ceiling, looking for the crack.
Okay. Yeah, give me a perception roll to seek.
Guys, look for a crack in the ceiling.
Sandy is so fucking confused. He's just looking at Bark, like, looking at these fungi, and then suddenly looking up. He's like, "Okay."
That's true, because nobody else can hear them.
Yeah.
Actually, with new rules for light spells, Soma can send the light balls right up to the ceiling to see the crack.
You might disturb it.
What?
You might wake it up. There's something up there. Don't do that.
Okay, let's not do that then.
Yeah, if she doesn't do that, with the ceiling being 60 feet above, there's quite a stretch of the cavern ceiling that you can't really investigate. So it's hard to tell. And there's all of these like little cracks and outcroppings and stuff, so it's really hard to tell from down here what the fungi are talking about.
What about, you mentioned some other folks that weren't too colorful that were passing through here. Can you tell me anything about them?
Well, they look kind of like you. They have this weird stem that then bifurcates into these little roots that you seem to be pulling around with you. And they're sorry, I have to look up. mushroom terminology here. I did not think that was. Hang on. There we go. There's this stem, which is for some of them it's blue, for others it seems to be more on the like blackish side, and then their cap, for some of them it's white, and others wrap their caps in this strange fabric like stuff. I don't know why they do that.
Okay. Let's see. Which way were there those folks coming from, and where were they going?
Well, the ones with the white caps came from over there, and one of the mushrooms like starts to bend backwards. And you think it's basically pointing this way. I haven't seen the ones with the fabric caps in a long time. And yeah, that's what we know about them.
All right. Well, that's very very helpful. Do you guys have any questions for the mushrooms?
No, I used to talk to mushrooms, but I have to take them first.
Yeah. Can you check if they're going to try to eat us? Because I mean, it's because I can see the spores flying.
Oh yeah. Your spores, you're not gonna like, they're not gonna infect us or anything, are they? Or like, you're not gonna try to. Oh, I mean, obviously, if we die, you're gonna try to eat us, and that's fine. But like, while we're still alive, is it dangerous for us?
Let me see here. What do we? Give me a second. Where's the party screen? Okay.
Why are you rolling stealth checks?
Because you asked that question. You asked that question, and everyone else was probably like trying to keep an ear out, or an eye out on the chamber, making sure there's no creatures getting a jump on you. But unfortunately, none of you are perceptive enough to have noticed how those red spore clouds from near the bridge were ever so slowly riding that strange wind that you didn't feel over here, and kind of slowly floating closer. And Bark, as you ask the fungi in this little crop over here about that, they say, our spores, no, they are very harmless. Some of these other creatures actually eat us. But you might want to watch out for those, it says, without being able to point. And then as you turn around, Bark, you notice that the rest of the group has let those red spore clouds drift ever closer. And you immediately notice that there is something driving them. They are not just being moved around by air. There's intention behind it. So let's see. We're gonna start an encounter here, and then I will figure out how to do initiatives. I guess we'll use your perception rolls. Well, you don't have perception rolls. I did a stealth check, so I'll use my stealth check for initiative, and I can roll for everyone else. Okay. Okay. And yeah, so that's when you all realize, like, oh no, those red spore clouds are actually coming our way. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make them visible for simplicity's sake, because those spore clouds are hiding, or they are kind of forming these sort of puff balls that are like bulbous, deep red fungus, and they are very slow, or they've moved very slowly, which is probably why you didn't really pay that much attention to them. But now that Bark is maybe drawing your attention to it, you realize, like, oh no, these things are really moving. And Sandy, it's your turn.
Okay. Sandy sees these huge balls of puff and spore coming at him. He is going to rage. Let me make sure I do the effect. And then he will, I guess he only needs to step. I always like popping zits, and he's going to swing down with his striking maul this time.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Okay, starting it off right. Brutal critical hit. Slamming the thing for 32 points of damage. Which
And,
you thought, which you
yeah,
thought should just like pop that thing, but instead it actually takes most of that force and just kind of gives way to it. It is very, very much gonna be able to take damage like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's not satisfying.
Not at all. Okay, so then it's one of those things' turn. Let me see. They're not in the initiative yet. Here we are. Let me see. What do we have? Okay. Yeah, okay, so you immediately like swing your weapon at it and hit it hard, and it just kind of like floats back a little bit, but then just slowly drifts forward again. There's no face. It doesn't make a sound. It just like mindlessly floats towards you, and then as it gets close, it starts to open up, and there are these spores coming out that that I guess it kind of like shoots at you at very close range from right next to you, and let's see how it works. Well, they miss the first time, and they missed the second. Nope, they hit the second time, and they hit you so hard that it actually does hurt a little bit. And you also inhale some of them, and you feel them on your skin, and they leave this like burning sensation. So it's a very painful experience altogether.
That's gross.
That was that, and it does even a third one. It's mindless. Oh, look at that.
Oh no!
Oof. Yeah, and then it's a big blast
Absolutely.
of spores that damages you quite significantly. That was its turn. Then the other puffball is going to also mindlessly float forward, and actually from here already it'll start shooting some spores at Ottardo, hitting him for 17 points of just pure poison damage. And then it'll stride and float forward, and with its third action it'll attack but miss with a close blast of spores. Bark, your turn.
Wolf. This thing looked like it absorbed a lot of the damage that Sandy dealt.
I mean, I was not describing that right. I was just trying to say that they have a lot of hit points. It's not like damage.
Okay.
It's not a resistance.
All right. Well, these things don't look particularly mobile, so we're going to try to hit them with a petal storm.
Petals versus fungi.
Going to summon
Okay.
razor sharp petals, which will begin to cut away, hopefully, at these two floating balls here.
Okay.
It only happens when they enter the area or when they start their turn there, so not quite yet.
And that area you marked here, it's basically like a cloud of these petals that shing through the air. And okay, and on their turn, did you say that enters the storm or
The
starts
creature
its
that
turn?
enters the storm or starts its turn there.
I think when the storm first appears, that is like entering the storm. So I'm gonna have them make their rolls right now.
Nice.
They both fail.
Nice.
And that's 2d10.
All right.
So very average 10 points of damage for each of them.
10 for each of them. And that is razor sharp edges. Okay. Okay, slashing damage. Okay. Yeah, so they do get cut, and there's like mycelium spilling out of the little cuts. Definitely effective. It also cuts through some of the webs, because they're just caught in that.
Right, and then I've got another action, so I will I will just protect my companion for now and protect Stick in case something comes for him.
All right. You want to end your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ottardo, standing right there. I guess he usually does his aura thing, right? So how does he do that? Would be an action. Brett Marshall stands. There it is. So he tries an intimidation check. Succeeds. So he gets his Dread Martial Aura. Okay, everyone has it. So that was one action. Your martial aura against your in the aura critically hidden. Okay, so when somebody crits an enemy, that enemy is frightened 1.
Nice.
Although those mushrooms are mindless, so I would say that doesn't affect them here. Okay. Anyway, that was action 1. Action 2 is going to take a swing at it. Strike. Ooh, critical.
Nice.
30 points of damage. And the last action, raise a shield. Soma.
Okay, I am still stupefied, so I will try to raise our defenses first.
You're still stupefied?
Yeah,
Yep,
it
24
will.
hours.
Yeah, it will pass soon, hopefully. Then I will step and try to help Sandy because he seems to be injured. I will battle medicine him.
Thank you.
Let's see. Hopefully, I can beat DC 20 now. Yes, I can.
All right. Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
End turn.
Sandy.
All right, feeling slightly better. He's going to keep swinging at this thing. Aim for the fences.
When did you this one? Okay. That's a solid hit. And you continue to hammer on it.
I'm going to take a second one.
Another hit. They're super easy to hit, but they're giant balls of hit points. 24. Okay.
And he's just going to keep swinging. He'll swing with his last one.
Okay. That's a miss.
All right.
Okay, so but it is
I'm going
clearly
to click my turn.
badly damaged already, but it does not have any sense of that. Seemingly, it just continues to hover forward and spew out more spores. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, whoa, no.
Oh, good lucky roll here. 22 points.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Sandy, do you have the defense on you? Because if it's critical by +10, it will actually prevent the critical.
Oh, I thought I dragged it. Did I not drag it? Sorry, defense.
Well, it's a natural 20.
Oh,
Never mind.
I still drag it though.
But let's have Ottardo do his thing. Just have to figure out where he does that.
Also, does it take the pedal storm damage at the start of its turn?
It should. Yep. Let me do one thing at a time here. So okay, so where's Ottardo's? What does he do exactly? Oh, he just says that he gives you the.
He grants me like resistance at 10 or something, or what is
Yep.
that?
I think it's resistance 10, yes. So, but that counts towards the bludgeoning and the poisoning separately. So that would make it no poison
10,
and
12 points.
Yeah, just come down to 12.
Yeah, 10 points. Okay.
And because the thing is within reach, is it this one? Yeah, because the thing is within reach of Ottardo, he would get an attack of, or like an attack. Triggered your target triggered your champion reaction. Strike. Hit. Damage. 15. Boom. Okay, and that was the creature's first action, is that right? I believe so. Second action.
Well, the pedal storm?
Yes. Do you have that prompt again? Or I should just pop it out. Hang on. I see it here. I can pop that out for me, and then I have it. Save. Okay, it fails. So I'm gonna roll the damage and take 20 points.
Oh.
That is bad for it.
I don't think that's correct.
It says 2d10.
It's because the Dread Marshal stance.
Oh, Dread Marshal stance applied to it. Okay.
Does that apply to? Oh yeah, it's all bonus damage rolls, right?
The champion abilities are weird. Okay. At least Ottardo's are. Okay, so that was its turn. And then it's the other floating mushroom thing's turn. And it'll
also start off with the save.
Thank you. Yep, it fails that. And no, I didn't mean to use Ottardo for that. But it also fails. And we'll roll the damage here.
I rolled 8. To be fair.
So we'll use yours. And
also, just to be fair, I think the other mushroom only took 1 action.
No. It did take 3 actions.
Oh, it did?
Because then Ottardo has... Yeah, Yeah, thank you, though. And then this mushroom. Okay, so it just started its turn. Now it's going to attack Ottardo, trying to cover him in spores. Misses by a little bit, misses again, and misses one last time. And then it's Bark's turn.
Yeah, I mean, the petals seem to be pretty effective. I guess I'm gonna come over here. And I'm gonna just throw down a timber. Can I drop a timber down without crushing any of these other mushrooms?
I don't think so. I mean, that would be very selective. They're just everywhere. So even on the path, they're growing. They're just smaller. You can. Yeah. Go ahead.
In that case, I'm just gonna try to make sure it stays exactly where it is. Tanglevine on it.
Okay. Which one did you target? This one?
This one up here, yeah.
Okay. A vine appears from thin air, flicking from your hand, lashing itself to the target. Attempt a spell attack roll. Okay, let's see that.
All right. Let's see. Target it and
It's a hit.
Nice.
So the target takes a 10-foot circumstance penalty to its speed for 1 round. It can attempt to escape. No, that's
yeah, that's
Really?
success.
okay. It can attempt to escape against your spell DC to remove. Okay. All right. Boom. Select the degree of
Just stay
success.
right there.
So go lash the mushroom to the other mushrooms using a tangling vine. Very much on theme here. All right. That was 2 action. Did you use the third one?
I moved.
You moved. Okay. Okay, Ottardo. I think he will assume that those things don't have an attack of opportunity. Move down here. Strike the thing in front of him. Hitting it and doing... Oops, that was not the right one because I had the champion reaction thing on. Let me try that again. Nope, that we did already do the attack roll. I just want the damage. 18 points. Okay, and then for his third action, he raises his shield. Okay, Souma.
Okay, let's try to keep the shields up. Barely,
Alright.
barely. And well, if physical attack seems to be working, let's try telekinetic projectile. With bludgeoning one with a piece of a rock like nearby. Okay, that's it. Alright,
Sandy.
Okay, Sandy is just going to keep swinging away at this thing. He thinks he's got it. Flattened a bit in the middle, maybe. Keep trying to split it.
Yeah, you just hammer away at it. It is quite cathartic because you just kind of like get to slam your hammer into it as many times as you like. And it's starting to slowly give way. You can see it pop in some places, but not quite yet.
One more action. You know what? Sandy swings from fences. Let's go one more time. Okay.
All right. And then it is the creature's turn to respond to it, so it'll mindlessly continue doing what it did.
Pedal storm.
Pedal storm.
Oh yeah.
Critical failure.
Oh, kill it, kill it.
I'm gonna roll the damage here.
Oh, it critically failed? Okay.
And that is double damage. It takes 22 points of damage, which leaves it with 1. And
Oh, does the Dread Marshal's aura apply to that though? Because that didn't apply in the thing.
oh, you're right. So it actually does. Good call. Okay.
That was a good call, yeah.
All right. So it goes down, but as it gets like sliced by all of those
Oh
petals,
no!
it's
gonna
instead
explode,
of
isn't
just deflating, instead it kind of like pops all of a sudden. And
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
it's a 20-foot emanation, so it covers everyone.
They always explode.
Yep. And that'll be a fortitude save, as you know, the cavern all of a sudden seems to be just thick with spores. Of course, Sandy crit succeeds. Bark succeeds. Some about crit succeeds.
No, Bark! Does
No.
Bark get affected?
Ottardo failed.
Oh no!
Ottardo's gonna use his hero roll here. Hero point. Crit succeeds. There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Okay, so let's see what we've got. It'll be poison damage. So that's the regular damage. Whoever failed with that, who crit succeeds, takes nothing. So I believe that's only Stick who
Oh,
takes
phew.
30. Yeah, that was bad.
That could have been brutal.
But at least it's gone. Okay. And that would have been its turn. So instead, it is now going to be the other one's turn, which
Just
also
does
has
that-
to.
Does that affect
that?
plants too? Like Stick?
I'm pretty sure it's poison. I mean, if it is poison immune, then it wouldn't. The fungi are immune to poison, so they don't care about that.
Okay, yeah, he's not immune to anything, so.
Okay, yeah, so then that should be still applying. I closed my popped out Petal Storm, and as we saw, it's very important to keep track of that. So where is it? There it is. Okay. Getting cut up by this stuff, it succeeds at its save, but that means it'll still take a little bit of it. And it continues to attack Ottardo. Once, twice, thrice, missing all attacks. And then it's Bark.
Bark's gonna realize the danger of these things and he's going to back away. Let's see, it's a 20-foot emanation, so a little further. And Stick can come trundling along with his independent action. And then he's still conveniently within range for doing the Tanglevine thing, so once again he'll try to just keep it there, just in case it feels like moving.
Okay, with this one roll.
But he misses with it, so
Okay.
that's his turn.
All right. All right. Okay. I'm gonna have to do something here. Let's see about that. Okay. So who's got? What's trying to sneak up on Bark, and your passive perception is better than that, so it's not gonna get the drop on you. So I guess you hear a sound, Bark. You hear like almost like a slightly wet, squelching sound, and you look up, and you see a spider descend from the cavern ceiling, descending on a thick piece of webbing that it is clearly anchored at the top of the ceiling. I'll show you the picture first, and we'll see if you get a sense of what we're talking about here. There's a little clue hidden in that art.
Oh boy.
Because it's not your average spider. It's not even your average large spider.
Seems to be a very large
Oh, boy.
spider.
It is a enormous spider that you see like descending down on you. You look up and it's like, oh my god. And as it makes its way, kind of like I would say, halfway down the cavern, so it is currently still 30 feet up. It shoots a piece of web. Shunk. No, it's not targeting itself. Come on. Targeting is hard when you're standing on top of everyone. Okay, I'm gonna move it a little bit just to target you. But it's coming down here. And it shoots a piece of webbing at you, hitting you. And as you get hit, it's like it's not just getting, hit by a little bit of spider webs. There's so much force behind this. It's just like you get blasted by this, completely covered in it, which means that you're immediately restrained. Does it restrain? Just because it's in the way. So you are restrained by this enormous amount of webbing. And you're not just restrained, but also tethered to the spider. So you can't move any farther away. And that's not good. So that was 2 actions. And now with its 3rd action, it'll descend all the way down. Can it make it all the way down? Yes, it can make it all the way down. And it lands plonk on the ground. And Bark, you hear the fungi like, oh, there's the web maker. I wonder if it's gonna eat the other one. Maybe. Who knows? And they're just kind of commenting on this as if they were watching a play. All right, so that's the spider's turn. Let me show it in the initiative tracker. And it's Ottardo. We'll probably say something like, "Oh, watch out, spider!" And then he'll target the fungus. Strikes once, hits it because it's off guard for 12 points of damage. Tries one more time. It misses, and then raises the shield for his 3rd. And that's his turn. Souma.
Well, this is very bad news. I really can't afford to be stupefied anymore, so I think I will try to make use of my new level up feat. So, with the first action I will try to battle medicine myself, because this new feat says that if I can treat wounds on myself successfully, I can remove my stupefied condition.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, wait a second, though. Treat wounds takes 10 minutes. And battle medicine, I think, doesn't let you do a treat wounds in shorter time. I think it has very specific wording. Yeah.
And maybe
It's using the... Do you see that? Attempt a medicine check with the same DC as for treat wounds. But it is not a treat wounds. So you can't just do things that are riding on treat wounds automatically also with battle medicine.
Well, then I should have done this earlier. We are all... well, no, we're not doomed. But...
I mean, I'm okay. If you I don't see why you would not have done this earlier, honestly, because it doesn't take resources, so we can retrofit that.
Okay, thank you. In that case, let's bust out something else.
What? No, what I'm saying is I'm okay if we want to retrofit this so that you've used it earlier in the days to get rid of the stupefied. That's fine by me, but you won't get the healing right now.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm unharmed anyway, so I don't need healing.
Good. Yeah, but that's fine by me. It's just keep in mind that it's generally something that you do with treat wounds, not with battle medicine.
Okay, so let's use my next level up feature then. Souma will spend all 3 actions casting a spell, and she will spread her arms, and instead of actually singing, she will start chanting a loud prayer. She will also start rolling her eyes as if she was trying to see if something on her forehead glows or not. But as she speaks the words, something should happen, because she casts this.
Oh.
Dragon. You summon a creature that has the dragon trait and whose level is 5 or lower to fight for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fire Drake, please.
A fire drake. flame drake is what it's called apparently. Here it is.
Mhm,
There it
thank
is.
you.
And let me give you control.
Amazing.
Right, and as far as I understand, it should take its 2 actions immediately after being summoned.
Is that so? Unless noted otherwise, the creature must become the highest level creature. How do you know that it would take those actions immediately? Don't you usually need to take an action to give it 2 actions?
It's hidden in the text because where is it? I think it says that summoned creature. Let me see. I've already closed all the tabs about this, but I think it's either minion or summoned creature. Because I remember because I specifically looked that up.
There it is. Immediately when you finish casting the spell,
Yeah.
the summoned creature uses its 2 actions for that turn. If it's summoned creatures can. Okay. But then in subsequent turns, you need to use an action, or how does it work?
Yes, I need to sustain a spell. In which case, it will uses its 2 actions.
Okay, got it. All right, cool. So have at
Okay.
it.
Yeah. In that case, well, 1 draconic frenzy, please, and.
Yeah, I
Someone
don't know what that means, so you're gonna have to walk us through it.
Yeah, someone will point at the giant spider and stick the drake on it, which the flame drake makes 2 fang strikes and 1 tail strike in any order. It doesn't actually says anything about the multiple attack penalty. Let me see in the bigger sheet.
No, it's 2 fang strikes and 1 tail strike, so it's just each strike as normal. So you would take the map.
Okay.
So you can choose which one you start with. That's why the order, I think, is emphasized here, because the first one takes no map and the second one. So.
Okay, let's just make like fangs, tails, fangs.
All right. Oh, that's absolutely hard.
Noise.
Let's see. 22 points. That's disappointing for critical hit, but good enough.
Oh, we had 2 1s. Oh.
Critical miss. Swinging wild. All right, and then missing with its fangs. Okay. That's really welcome support, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume that's
it, yes.
That's
Right,
it,
right,
yeah?
enter.
okay. Sandy.
All right. I'm gonna pop this one first. And he's gonna swing on this, or try to pop this thing. Let's see if you've got candy inside.
Let's see that damage. 19. Okay, it's badly injured. So far, no
All
candy.
right, come on, Sandy.
Yeah, that's a miss.
No. I'm no, not on my second attack.
Don't do it. Not with the spider. Don't do it.
All right, that's a miss.
All right, that's
Okay.
Sandy's turn.
Battle
And it's
storm.
Thank you so much.
Oh, good call.
All right, that's
Okay,
half damage. And we're taking 6 points here. And then the thing is, even though it seems mostly futile, it is mindless. So it'll just continue to try to pump its spores into Ottardo, who is just hermetically sealed in his armor. And then it is Bark's turn.
Okay, I think this works. It's really bad for me to be restrained, because it means I can't use manipulate actions. But I am wearing a druid's crown,
Mm-hmm.
which allows me, since it's set to the leaves mode, it allows me to cast one with plants, and I believe I do that just by taking a 2-action activity that has envision.
Wow.
So I think I can do it without doing any manipulate actions.
Oh, okay.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Um,
Okay.
Now the question is, are there any funguses within my reach that are large enough to house my form? I'm a small creature.
Within your reach, is that literally 5 feet, or what is the reach of your spell?
It says you may touch a plant with enough volume. So I'm assuming that's within my reach, but it just says touch a plant.
And okay, let me see that. It's tree shape, one with plants. You can either
One with
transform into a
plants.
plant or merge. While transformed, you
Druids
can
are so weird, man.
merge with plants. The spell's damage from casting. You must touch the plant with enough volume to fit you and your possession. So I'll say this: if my biology knowledge is not mistaken, then fungi are actually all one organism, or a lot of the fungi are one organism because their mycelium underground is actually connected. So I think that you're like covered in the spider webs rolling on the floor, and the spider is already like busy to like spin you up and make you like a tasty little cocoon like thing, and you just with your flat nose you're kind of like trying to reach for something, and you boop one of those little mushrooms and envision casting this spell, and you feel your body melt away because it's removing your physical form, right? It's actually completely merging you with that plant, not just your mind, but your body.
You can hear but not see what's going on outside the plant. If the plant takes damage while you're inside it, you're expelled from the plant. Oh, I didn't read that part.
And take 10d6 damage.
Nobody hurt the mushrooms, he says as he fades into the mushrooms.
Well, I mean, this is interesting. So let's because you have that pedal storm going, which is hurting the mushrooms over there, and we are, as I just
well,
said,
maybe
it's
okay.
basically.
I'll do the other version then. I'll turn into a plant.
I mean, you could dismiss the pedal storm, right? Or is that not dismissible?
No, it just goes for 1 minute.
Oh, it just continues to go. Okay. Okay. So then, yeah. All right. So you turn into a plant.
In that case, I'll turn into a large tree.
Into a tree. So I guess that will make you burst those webs pretty comfortably. So you're no longer
I
restrained.
might not want to eat the tree.
Yeah, you're no longer restrained in that sense, but you're still very much just a tree. So
yeah,
you can observe everything around you.
Nature or survival check against my spell DC to reveal what I am. So obviously, I think the others will know I'm, that's not right, but the spider might not.
Okay. All right.
I can observe everything around me using my normal senses.
It is not trained in nature, so it'll just like as you change your shape and you pop the webs, you can use your normal senses. So you see the spider like kind of like spring back a little bit. What just happened? And it like maybe it uses its little, not little, its giant legs to like feel on your bark, and try to make sense of what just happened here. And I guess Stick is sitting on one of your branches, just trying real hard to look just like another branch. But so far, so good.
I mean, I have one more action, but I don't even know what I can do with it. So
as a tree.
Could I still command Stick?
It's mental action, right?
I think so. I don't really have anything for Stick to do, but I'll just keep that in mind. I'll just be like, Stick, freeze!
Yeah, maybe like hide in your
Stick
branches.
attack. Yeah, I mean, find out what kind of traits that action has if it does. But if it's just mental, then oh, I think I see it here. You issue a verbal command with the auditory and concentrate traits, so that would not work.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you have something like, because it's like your druid companion. If you have something that doesn't require auditory, that could work. But
I don't think so. No.
yeah, no wait. So you're gonna skip your third action?
It does say under the general rules for familiar, it says your familiar can communicate empathetically with you as long as it's within 1 mile, sharing emotions. It
Yeah, but that's just emotions. Yeah, so it's not like clear instructions.
Okay. All right, then. Yeah, no, that's it. I'm just a tree.
You're just a tree. All right. This spider, yeah, slightly surprised, like, what's going on here? And then also gets attacked by the flame drake behind her. So I think she'll swing her giant body around and hurl some webbing at the flame drake. Shunk. Hitting it, which means that it is now restrained. And that looks like good eating, so it'll just start digging its fangs in.
Ow.
Cool critical damage here. Just
Oh.
a tiny little bit of 54 points. So it's just like its giant fangs dig into the flame drake's flesh, and it starts rooting around and like dissolving the drake's flesh, slurping it up. And then a third action. Oh, I realized that. Another crit.
Well, no. At least it got one critical hit. Yeah.
And that means that it's boom. And then the flame drake disappears. The spider is just like, what's going on here?
All its food keeps disappearing or changing shape.
Exactly, all its food just seems to weirdly disappear. And then it's Ottardo's turn. He targets the mushroom in front of him, seeing that apparently, I mean, everything's under control, right? So that's a regular hit. 14 points. Followed up by a second attack, which misses, and then raising his shield, and then it's Souma.
All right. Well, my the combo that I hoped for didn't work because well. But let's try to do something else then. First things first. Let's start protecting everyone. With Rallying Anthem and, well, I guess let's try to use another spell I haven't tried before, and try to curse the spider.
Curse the spider? Inevitable disaster.
Whoa.
Nice.
Prediction trade. Get you blows the ghost in effect, putting into motion a chain of
Some kind of strange accident occurs later.
Oh, God.
Damn.
So you will not quite sure when or how to do more. Some kind of strange accident occurs, dealing 55 damage to the creature with a basic 40 to save. This happens regardless of where the
A tree branch might fall on the foe.
This is one of the spells that Lucca was building up towards.
Was it? That makes sense for him, yeah.
Okay, so I know when this is gonna happen now, and
that's pretty cool.
When the damage
very
occurs,
cool spell.
the form of the accident
Did he save against it?
Well, we
I
will
saved at the
know.
time of the damage.
It will be physical damage, probably bludgeoning. Because something will fall on it.
One that has physical damage. What? No, I choose. What kind
You
of
choose? Oh, okay. Then, well, I mean, given the situation, I think something might very well fall on it.
At least I think that I choose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right. So that was your turn.
Right end turn.
Okay, Sandy.
Okay. I mean, Sandy feels like he needs to kill this thing before he starts going after the spider, so he's going to swing down on it. Okay.
That's a hit. 25 points of damage.
Okay, come on. Do it, Sandy, do it.
Oh, yep, that looks good. I think that might be enough.
Oh, what damage is that? Oops, I didn't mean to take that damage.
Only 10 points of damage?
Yeah.
That is not enough to kill it.
Alright. Is his Dread Marshal still up?
It should be.
Oh, I
yeah.
already hit it. Never mind.
And I
Sorry.
think it's in there.
Alright, one more time.
That's a miss.
Damn it.
Okay. The thing is going to save. Look at me remembering the Petal Storm. And takes half of that. And then it is going to try to bore Ottardo, which is completely useless to do, but they're mindless. All right, there's a tree in the corner of this cavern that looks weirdly out of place. Is it gonna do
I'm
anything?
trying to figure out what I can do as a tree. Now there is, I'm a little confused, Simon, because there's wording in the spell that says, while transformed, you can't move or affect anything outside the plant, but you can cast spells as long as they don't require line of effect beyond the plant. I don't know what that means.
I suppose it means the spells on yourself.
Yeah,
Is it
but
just
still, the traits would still apply, right? So if it has manipulate trait, you know, because the tree can't move or anything like that.
Okay.
So here's one. The polymorph trait. Unless otherwise noted, the battle form prevents you from casting spells, speaking, and using most manipulate actions that require hands. If there's doubt about whether you can use an action, the GM decides. Your gear is absorbed into you, and the constant abilities of your gear still function, but you can't activate any items.
So
I think what this is trying to say is that, you know, even though it does have the polymorph trait, which has a blanket, you can't cast spells. This says you can cast spells as long as they only affect, you know, yourself.
Right. Okay.
But I don't think that. But I think it still means that you don't have hands, so, and you can't speak, which means you can't do manipulate or auditory.
So then you can't cast spells because everything has at least one of those, basically.
Is that so? I thought there was some mental.
I would imagine druids should at least have some sort of feature that allow them cast spells in wild shape to carry over from the previous editions.
Yeah, I don't know. But it seems pretty clear to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to cast anything on myself anyway. So...
Wait, can you dismiss this spell?
I can, yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm not stuck as a tree for 8 hours. I was checking that.
Oh, there it is. You can dismiss the spell. Okay, good.
Spell, yeah. But also, like, the spider's right on top of me, so I'm not sure I want to dismiss it right now, so I might just pass my turn eventually.
Yeah.
You can. Well, you can delay.
You know what I'll try to do? I'll try to identify the spider.
All right. Can you roll in nature?
I can still see it. I can still observe it while I'm a tree, so...
That's right.
There you go.
Nature?
If you have any lores, yep. If you have any lore that might help, forest lore. That's
forest. I do have forest lore.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between? I think there's a difference between forest and jungles, right?
I don't know, but my forest lore is +12, and my nature is plus 21, so I'll probably do nature anyway.
Yeah, I think you would want to use nature.
Okay.
21.
That's
pretty
very
good.
nice.
Okay, well, I mean, you actually know quite a bit about these spiders. They're called Goliath spiders. They dwell in the deepest jungles, where they build webs as big as temples and feast on prey as large as hippopotami. And there are few everyday vermin that inspire as much dread as this infamous kind of spider. How it has found its way into the cavern here, which is not generally its usual habitat, is a little mysterious to you, and it may just be poor design. Yeah, so you know quite a bit about these creatures. It's a critical success, so I think you can ask me 4 questions.
Okay.
So
I
it's an
guess-
animal. Yeah, that I can give you that for free. It's an animal.
It is an animal. Okay. Besides the obvious web slinging ability, does it have any other special abilities?
It is venomous, so
Uh-huh.
it can use its poison to incapacitate someone fairly quickly.
Okay. What is its weakest save?
That would be will.
That makes sense. I don't. What do I even ask about it? Is it I mean, obviously it can climb, it can cast web. It's a big spider. I don't know what else to ask about a big spider.
That's totally fine.
Can I reserve? Can I reserve those 2 questions if I think of something later?
Sure.
Okay. All right. And that's all I'm gonna do because right now it's still right on top of me. I'm just gonna stay a tree.
Okay. Then that's your turn.
Yeah.
And it's the spider who comes up. Oh, all right. First, its food turns into a tree. Then its food just simply disappears. It's getting really fed up with this, so it's just gonna pick whatever is next, which happens to be Souma. Try to... What? Souma? Avoiding the web. Amazing. But it'll try again, shooting enough. What?
Yes!
Okay.
It's getting frustrated. It just tries to bite instead, but misses again, just sinking its giant fangs into the cave wall floor. And it's not that spider's day, clearly. Ottardo's turn is coming up, and he will try to end that puffball down here. There we go. That's the way to do it. 28 points of damage, and the thing goes up in a cloud of spores, which everyone, including the spider, will need to save against. The tree does not, I would assume.
I'm also out of range of it, I think, so.
20-foot emanation, pretty big. But yeah, you're right. You are out of range. So here's the prompt.
Let's go.
Yeah. Soma dodges the spores as well.
Everyone crit succeeds. Except for the spider,
Nice.
who will take half damage, which is not whoa, that's pretty damn good
It was great.
for you guys. Okay. Wow, that poor spider, I kind of feel bad for it. All it has gotten so far is like a mouthful of poison. So that was one action for Ottardo. Second action is stepping up to the spider to have everyone in reach of his abilities, and then he's gonna raise his shield. And then it's Soma's turn.
Alright. Let's continue then the spectacle. First, let's make the defense lingering this time. and it's not lingering in you, so never mind.
But does it mean it still applies for 1 round, or it doesn't at all?
Yes,
Yeah,
it applies for 1 round.
Okay.
And for the next 2 actions, let's use another Old Faithful and try to slow it.
Try to slow the spider. Okay,
Yes.
let's see. That's
Ish.
safe. It succeeds, so it is slowed 1 for 1 round. Okay.
Okay, Sandy.
Then it's okay, Sandy.
Okay. I found one of the feats I'm going to use, and I'm going to use it for my level up, and I'm going to use it here. He's going to move around Soma. Can't flank with a tree, can you?
Actually, you just have to go here. The square is not fully.
Got it.
Area not very clear.
And he is going to silencing strike this creature. So it just a regular first strike. Not even hit. Oh, brutal. So that won't apply. Let's do second one. Okay. Oh gosh, this thing's got a hard. What do spiders have? Is it carapace?
Yeah, probably.
That's my turn.
Okay. Bark. Still awfully close to that spider.
Yeah. He sees that his companions have shifted focus to start fighting it, which makes him a little more emboldened to get in on the action. So he is going to cast elemental form on himself. So this tree is going to start shifting and taking on bark-like features as bark's face sprouts out of it, and the branches begin to bend and shift, and he turns into an elemental.
Amazing.
Specifically a wood elemental.
There's wood elements. Amazing.
Just in terms of the action economy, do you spend an action to?
Oh yeah, I have to spend an action to dismiss the spell first. So,
okay.
Elemental form that'll be my whole turn. Does it make me large? No, I'm a medium elemental. Okay, that's my turn.
All right, and I remembered the perfect picture.
That's amazing.
That the tree is turning into bark that I just created. All right. And then it's the spider's turn, but it has its back turned towards you, Bark. You're just a tree for it. There's no reason to think otherwise. Sandy is moving up and starting to swing at it, which I think it doesn't like. It's like instinctively like somebody waving a hammer around. That's not good. So it's gonna try to web him. Oh
boy.
That is a webbed Sandy as he gets restrained, and then quickly the thing just kind of like crawls up on top of you. Tries to sink its fangs into your flesh, succeeding.
It does do damage, right? With the first thing?
The web does not do damage. It just restrains.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But this does damage now as it bites down for 26 points, and I will need a fortitude save. Which you crit succeed, and then as it starts to feel around and rolling you up in its webs, you somehow manage to avoid one more bite from it. Actually, Ottardo was within reach of you, so you do get to have resistance to 10 or 11, I think is what it is.
Okay.
So you can take that damage off, and then Ottardo will try to attack with his reactive strike thing. That's a hit. Triggered your champion reaction. Let's see that damage. And that's 18 points. Okay. And then it's his regular turn. And he targets the spider, tries to attack. Oops, that's a miss. Tries to attack one more time and then raises his shield. And then it's Soma. Harness?
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue trying to make defense lingering. And
That
33
looks
should be enough.
So that makes it what? 4 rounds?
3.
3.
Okay, that's
What else?
that was one action, and the next one. Let's see what can we do. Well, this guy seems to be standing way too comfortably here, so so let's invoke the spirit of Lucca again.
Okay, skeletal hands dig out between the fungi on the ground. And it'll try to reflex save, and so does Ottardo.
Oh, sorry.
They both succeed. Is it a basic save? Yes. Okay, so they both take half damage. As the skeletal hands rip away their flesh.
Right,
It is
and
everyone,
turn.
right? Not just to creatures. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay. I can only escape or force open. I can't attack. Do you have like a prompt to do that, or should I just click on those ones?
Let's see. So you want to
I
escape?
think I'm gonna try and force open because that's probably strength, right?
Yeah, let's see if that gives you a prompt, because I don't have one explicitly. I think you
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
can you target the spider? Just I think you already do. Yeah. So I think that's the way to do it.
Okay. Let me just find. I'll just find the action. Oh,
$39. Force open would be against, what's the DC here? Did it say?
I think it's the DC of the effect.
Right. And that would be.
I hope 39 is a success.
I just can't get those rules straight. How you calculate like monster disease, and I don't understand why they just don't put them on the sheet. Because the ability doesn't have a DC. It's just its web. There's no DC attached to it. So in that case, I think that you use some. I don't know what it's even called, like a creature DC.
DC by level.
Maybe. Use these DC when a PC needs to identify a spell or recon knowledge about a creature, perform a task at a certain level, and so on. You can also use level for obstacles. I think that's the right thing to do. So let's see, it's level, okay. So that would be a DC 28. That sounds right. So you critically succeed. You burst out of the webs.
Nice.
And yeah, you're good.
Oh, I got a good Randy Man Savage quote for this. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. As he bursts through the chains, and he will swing at this creature. I don't know many Savage quotes, but I know that one. He will swing his ball at this thing. Damn it, right, Sandy. Yeah, and he'll swing one more time.
That should be at a full -10 though, because the escape would have had the attack action. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Misses.
And it's Bark's turn.
All right, time to draw this thing's attention by giving it the old smackdown with a couple of branch attacks. Let's see how it goes. That's not good. Let's try another one. It's the exact same result. Okay. Last action, I just want to step off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's like down here.
All right. Then it's the spider's turn.
Wait, can I flank with anyone? Hang on. Am I?
You were flanking already, yeah. I can see that it gave it the off. What's it called? Off guard condition.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right. So, Bark's trying to attack it from that side. Sandy just broke out of its webs, and the spider is just like. Now the webs don't work. None of this makes any sense.
Simon really feels for this creature. I love it.
Yes, I do. I really do. I think it's just gonna try to do the last one that it hasn't yet tried to attack. Just being like, well, maybe this one will finally work. And that giant walking tin can does seem to be an easy target for the webs. So it's Ottardo is restrained, and then it moves on up on him and misses 2 times with its freaking fangs. Then it's Ottardo's turn. He will try. Oh wait, the spider takes some. Oh, fails with the recovery checks and takes some spirit damage. Then it's Ottardo's turn. He is going to try and break out of this. I think he'll probably gonna try to escape. Would think that makes the most sense. And for Ottardo, it's probably athletics. But that is well, that's not the right DC here, so it's actually a success, which means he also manages to break out of the webs. And then that was action 1. Action 2 is a swing at the spider. Nope, that's the wrong. That was wrong all over the place, but that's okay. And then he raises his shield. And the spider is once again confused about the lack of success with its web. Souma, your turn.
Okay, one turn will go to sustain the skeletons. I will move them away from Ottardo because Bark now moved away from the spider, so it will not catch him.
Okay.
So it'll be something like this.
Okay, so it will only cover the spider. As the hands reach out, it tries to avoid them, succeeds, but that means it'll still take 3 points of damage.
Okay, and I think I can actually cover this thing wholly with my Haunting Hymn cantrip. So let's try that. Yes, see, like this. So it will.
Wow.
I could try to blast it entirely. Oh, damn.
Whoa.
And a critical save.
Damn.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
42 is its best save. And then it's Sandy's
Can
turn.
spiders here?
Maybe
Actually,
that's
don't know
why.
that, like in real life. I don't know. Okay, Sandy is going to. He's not restrained, so he can just start swinging right away. There we go. And now I get to use my new feat.
A quick strike to the face or mouth silences your opponent. It's like slapping. Okay. So where
Yes, Sam.
must succeed at a 40 to save. crit succeeds. Okay, so
Okay.
but still damage.
All right,
Yeah.
but 2 damage. Yep.
Ooh,
Ooh.
32 points.
Ooh, 2 12s. Let's go.
Nice.
All right. And then I will swing again. Oh.
There you go.
Go. Let's see that crit roll.
All right. I think I can. Can I use the sounding strike again? Like just every time? I think I
I
can.
don't see why.
Okay, and I'll do the critical damage.
No, actually. No, I guess you can. Yeah, why not? Okay, so that's 54 points of damage. And it needs to roll its fortitude. Crit succeeds once again.
I mean, he's just gonna swing again.
A wild swing is a miss. All right. Bark.
Bark is. So is he flanking right now?
He should be. Yep.
Okay. All right. I don't have to move. All right. So let's keep on slapping with those branches.
Slap, slap, slap. That's a hit.
20 points.
20 points of damage.
We'll try another one. Hey,
That's another hit.
that's good.
Nice.
18 more points.
Okay, damn.
Yeah.
So he's sitting back there just whacking at this thing with big tree branches.
It's like smashing a spider with a wood stick or something.
I don't know what to do with my third action. I don't have a shield that I can raise, so I guess I'll just try to smack it again.
That's what I do.
No, okay.
He's always rolling a 20. Okay, so this spider, I mean, now it's just the trees themselves, which I guess it has never seen, hasn't really seen trees, but now it even has taken a beating from nature itself. It is done with this shit. It's just gonna do one more attack in passing. I think it's pretty randomly gonna choose between all 4 of you, so I'm gonna start at Ottardo and then go around the table clockwise. So that would be Souma. And it'll try to bite you. Oh, one critical hit in passing. 48 points of damage and a fortitude save, please.
Ottardo will use his reaction on that.
Thank you, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
There you are. Hey, welcome, just in time.
What?
So that should be 12 points of resistance.
Nice.
12 points now. Nice.
And I should target.
What?
Oh,
No, that's a
Come
comeback.
on.
Sam comes in and crits
No
it.
way.
Crits the
No
damage.
way.
Go.
I can't believe it. Sam steps into the call and crit that thing on its way out. And you just bring down that weird looking flick mace hard on the creature as it exposes its abdomen for a moment there, which is enough for you to strike it bad. And it just kind of flips over on its back, and with a squeaking, squelching sound, it is no more. Badass.
think-
100 XP for everyone.
Nice.
I do not think that you. Okay, well, whatever. That was not the spider's. That was not the spider's day. Clearly,
It was not.
Yeah, Sam. Thanks for joining. There's not a whole lot has happened. The group started exploring the cavern down here after taking a full night's rest, and Bark had a nice conversation with some of the mushrooms over here. But then a couple of other mushrooms had slowly crept up on the group and started a fight. And as spells were being flung around the cavern, some of the webs over here were disturbed, which caused the spider to come down and try to grab a quick snack. But instead of just doing that, weird stuff kept happening. Like dragons started
Oh.
appearing and then disappearing. People started turning into trees. It was a mess.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, but that's where we are right now. All right, so spider is vanquished. The fungi over here have been popped. The petals will keep storming for a little while until they dissolve, and the skeletal hands will also eventually recede into the ground again. What's next?
So anyway, like I was saying, which way did you say those weird people went?
Well, that was quite impressive. I don't think we've ever seen anyone survive an encounter with the web maker. Well, anyway, which ones are you? Oh, the ones with the white caps. They went back over there, and from context clues, you discern that they mean here.
And the ones with the fabric on their caps.
They tend to go through that wooden hole in the wall over where you came from.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. Anything else you can tell us about? I mean, you're one giant organism over here. Anything you can tell us about what's going on that way? He points to the west.
Yeah, there's a couple more like us. They're all us in that sense, but there are also some that are not us in some other sense, and that's all we know.
Okay. Oh, any idea what's up with that giant chain thing?
What's a chain thing?
Metal, that thing over there. Bark will go over and he'll like rattle it as best he can. It looks huge.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
seems good.
You go over there, okay. So as you go all the way over there, you see that the chains are attached to an enormous iron ladder that hangs down into a deep chasm. And each link of the chains that hold it up are about as large as a human.
Oh.
But the rungs are spaced to give even a small creature an easy climb.
Whoa.
And it goes like deep down. I don't think you have vision as far as that you could see the bottom.
Well, I do have dark vision, but I don't think it goes that far.
I don't think dark vision is 60 feet. Is that right? So.
No. Dark vision. Just says dark vision. Dark vision. I'm gonna have to find my feet. That gives me dark vision. It's an ancestry thing. Animal senses. There we go. Only 30 feet.
Yeah, then you won't be able to see that far. However, because of all the like glowing mosses and stuff, and the bioluminescence, the western part of the cavern is actually quite illuminated. I believe that you can see pretty far here. And you do notice beyond the bridge, there are a couple of doors, and there are more sections where the walls are not just natural cavern, but there's like masonry work that breaks through the cavern wall in a sense, and sections of it are worked stone.
Pretty impressive complex. That what'd you say her name was? Belcora? She really had a thing for caves, or dungeons. And you said there's a round thing here?
Yeah, there's this, you should be able to see it, that there's the section of the cave wall is strangely, almost perfectly semicircular. And it's just smooth stone.
Well, folks, what you want to do? There's some white-haired, blue-skinned people who kind of sound like some sort of maybe some of those creatures we met before that went down over to the east. There's these tunnels up to the northwest. There's this bridge.
I'm good with either. Do we need to go where those, whatever, the weird people to the, southeast? Should we figure out where they're going? Is that important?
I kind of feel like maybe we shouldn't we? We wouldn't want them to sneak up on us later. Better that we get the jump on them.
Wait a second. Maybe before we start wandering, someone will come over and try to check up the webs of this web maker, because if that thing ate someone here, maybe we could at least take a look and see who actually is we are dealing with.
That's a good idea. That's good thinking. Says Bark as he starts pulls out fruit. Great idea.
Sorry, what are you doing? I was distracted looking something up.
Yeah, we are trying to check up the corpses.
Okay, you're checking on those bodies that are wrapped up in the webs. Yeah, so the webbed corpses are two different. So there are three bodies in total, but two different kinds. One of them is a desiccated creature that you've seen them before. It's like one of those creatures with the translucent bluish skin. You've met one of them in the kind of locked in a cell, and with the dark folk cult. And this is another one of them, but very much desiccated, very much dead. And then there are two other creatures that are in equally bad condition, but they must have much more recently been killed. And they look elven in their features, but they have like a dark blue, purplish skin and white hair. I don't think that anyone here, like, it's not necessarily common knowledge what kind of elven species they are. So I think I'm going to ask for a society roll, or if you have any Darklands lore. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oops. I meant to do that.
Yeah, I guess most of you are kind of perplexed by this because they look so uncannily elven, but except for like the color of their skin and their hair, you've never seen or heard anything like it. But Ottardo, you do remember somebody from Riddleport, that maybe a client of yours or something, at some point mentioned a rumor that there was talk of an elven subspecies, whatever you want to call it, that lives deep below in the Darklands that has recently made contact with the surface world. And by recently, I mean in the past decades. And they are known as the Drow. I'll also call them Drow. That's how little is known about them. Right,
Carter,
so
what are you talking about? That sounds like nonsense. Everyone knows elves live in trees.
yeah, between the bodies though, there's a little bit of useful equipment that has survived the spider's attack. There is a little bauble. Looks like a bit of jade. I'm gonna put it in the chat because I don't think there's a treasure sheet here.
Wobble.
There is a... Why does that not? Okay. there really no
That's
treasure
quite
sheet
cool.
on this? That's kind of disappointing. But I guess there isn't. So there's the jade bauble. There's also this weird dust. And then there is a... I guess I'm just going to have to tell you because the link is broken here. A standard grade dark wood shield.
Ooh.
And all of that is in working condition.
It's also
I guess
different
dark wood is now
disappearance,
dusk wood.
Is it called Duskwood now?
Yes. So the effect of duskwood is very lightweight, dark as ebony, slight purple tint. A darkwood item's bulk is reduced by 1. Price of an item it goes based on the item, blah blah blah. And standard grade. Yeah, it is standard grade in terms of its quality. Does anyone want to pick up those items?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the jade bauble if no one else wants it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Don't forget that you need to affix the talisman before you use it. So that is a is a thing you need to make sure you do, and it requires a repair toolkit. So maybe Ottardo can do it for you at some point. It takes 10 minutes. And then the dust of disappearance is just a powder. So yeah, anyone could use it.
Yeah, as a talisman dabbler, I think I can affix the talisman in 10 minutes.
So are you taking a break? Is that what you're saying?
I can take 10. Take 10?
Well,
Okay, I can
doesn't seem to be a
try
bad
and
idea.
retrieve.
I can refocus.
All right, you want to take 10? That works for me.
Anyone
So-
want some? Anyone want a snack?
I would. Does it heal you?
What kind of question is that? There's 37 points of healing.
Oh, holy crap! It's the best snack ever.
Remember, it's important to eat your fruit, especially after vigorous exercise. Replenish your body's vitamins, sugars. Some quick carbs.
You're absolutely right.
So during the break, it's not interrupting any of your, short break activities or stuff like that. But Bark, you notice a section in the southern wall here, over here, right where Sandy is standing right now. There are a couple of what at first, or in passing, looked just like outcroppings, like little shadows on that play along the cavern wall. But now that you kind of stuck around for a little while, you notice that actually there's a couple of slits, like very narrow gaps in the wall that look purposefully made.
Hey, there's some holes in the wall here.
Like spy holes?
I don't know. They're like gaps. Are they big enough for a tiny creature to fit in?
A tiny creature, so that would be like about the size of a cat, I guess. Is that right?
I guess, like the size of a stick.
Sure. Yeah, I think that would work. Size of a stick? Yeah, sure.
Stick, want to have a look-see? Don't go too far.
Okay, so Stick is gonna go. For some reason, I was waiting for an answer from Stick. Stick is gonna go and squeeze into that narrow slit, and it's gonna move on up a little bit. Let me figure something out here real quick. So Stick, what are Stick's visions? Low light visions. Okay. Okay. All right. Stick is gonna push itself into the slit, and it's hard for Stick to tell, but it would think that it's not much further poking through this, but it's just so dark, and with low light vision, it's not enough to tell what's beyond the slit. There's not much light coming through, not enough for low light vision for sure. So Stick would need a light source.
Well, I could send the ball of light from the spell there.
And attach it to Stick.
Well, I don't have to attach it. It can just hover like dancing lights now.
Yeah, but hover where?
Stick it to Stick. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Causing it to... Yeah, no, that is what I mean. Attaching it to a stick, causing it to float near the creature as it moves. Yeah, okay. So, now that Stick has a light, it dares to move further in. And can give me a perception check.
Yeah. Just so you know, I can't see anything. Well, actually, I guess I can see. I do have vision through Stick, but Stick can't see anything. Perception
Oh, that's
check.
because Stick doesn't actually have light attached to it. Let me do that. Here.
Oh. Perception. Where is my perception?
$32. Nice. Oh wow. Okay. So here's what happens. A stick pushes itself through that little gap into the room, and before it moves all the way in, it scans the room, and it notices in kind of like pushing itself into another slit over here, trying to hide in the shadows that are dancing through the room because of Stick's magical light. It notices a creature hiding. You only have empathetic knowledge, but Stick can actually talk to you, right? So it can describe this to you after the fact?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So then here's how Stick would describe the creature. Elvish with like blue skin, white hair, wielding a hand crossbow, and it's clearly trying to hide, but Stick was able to see it, and knowing that it's not going to make it through a fight on its own, it'll probably quickly come back to tell you about this. But yeah, it also saw, I believe you saw that too, that it's a small room beyond those slits. That's something like a lookout post of some kind, I guess. And there's a door that leads out of it. There worked masonry inside, so this is connecting to some more manufactured complex.
All right, so yeah, Stick will come wriggling out of the gap, and it'll start waving its branches, and its little leaves will rustle around, and Bark will go, and then he'll turn to the others, and he'll say, yeah, small room back there, single door. There's a dude in there. What did you say, Ottardo? Those mythological elves were? growls or something?
The
Or
drab.
Growls. But we probably
Oh,
shouldn't be
growl.
talking here.
growl?
Yeah, those.
Right. I think there's one of those guys hiding in there. He can probably hear us talking right now. Hopefully he doesn't
Yeah.
understand. Hopefully he doesn't
That's why
understand
we should be
Paladin.
moving.
Good job, Stick. Yeah.
So should we?
Dude,
Should,
dude with a hand
should we?
crossbow.
Okay. Should we? I mean, that's. I'm sure that leads to them too. Should we? I feel like we have to confront these guys, right?
I mean, we should at least say hi.
It's rude not to.
Can you
Maybe
just
they'll
give
be
me
like, maybe they'll be friends because we killed the giant spider, you know, and the spider clearly killed some of them. So they'll be like, hey, thanks.
Hey, we did free one of them a week ago, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did?
You
I
weren't
wasn't
there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't
you weren't
for
there for that.
Yeah, I think we found
Oh,
one
no,
of those
no.
guys in the, as the food in the tavern, right?
Yep.
Maybe they know that guy.
Not all drow know each other, man. Which way?
Well,
Yeah, so you're kind of stuck between a rock to the east and a doorway to the west. There's a large boulder that is covering the cave entrance to the east here. And as you can tell now, I've mentioned earlier that it was covered in something that looked like cave paintings or carvings or something. And now that you're closer, you can clearly see that there are carvings and there are depictions of spiders.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe killing the spider wasn't such a good idea then.
I don't know. Well, in any case, the door is locked.
Okay.
Indeed.
While Soma is trying to deal with that, can you remind me, the player, of why, or rather tell me, what's the deal with the drow? Did they pass by? Did you interact with them?
Oh, we haven't interacted with them yet here.
No, we
on
just
this
learned
floor.
that they were here.
Or I mean, at this session. I guess I don't know if you guys did before.
Oh, so it's just the mushrooms that told you that they go by? Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Well, listen, guys. I think they kind of already know that we are here since they probably saw this whole huge battle here. I think I'll just try knocking. Okay?
Do you want me to just break it?
No, I mean literally. And when Soma says it, she will knock on the door and ask.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Hey guys, is everything alright in there?
Is everything alright?
So it's a polite knock, and you speak with a loud and but
Yes.
like clear voice.
It's called the Bardic Knock
you-
spell.
Okay, you don't get a response.
She will
try
try to
knocking
repeat.
in drow.
Okay, yeah, okay. 1 second. She will try to speak in Elvish.
Alright, you speak in Elvish. You knock again. Knock, knock, knock. Speak in Elvish. Hello, everything alright in there? And once again, no response.
Well, okay. Ottardo, do you remember which language these guys can speak? I mean, which language spoke that guy we found in the tavern?
I don't think we exchanged words at all. There was
Maybe
the
there's just
commotion
no
of the
one-
fight.
Not that I was there, but I think I heard rumors that someone gave him a very nice bow, though. Probably remembers
exactly.
that.
Hmm. Because I mean, I can't try to cast translate. Someone just needs to know which language to translate into.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can Ottardo roll again for that?
For what?
To try to remember what language drow speak.
It's also
Yeah,
possible
sure.
there's no one there to answer.
Roll a society check.
I mean, where else would they be? The mushroom said that they come down this way, and well, there's a rock over there, so.
Well, you don't know for sure, but they are supposed to be some kind of elves, so Elven is probably a good idea. And then, you know, what other languages do they speak down in the Darklands? Maybe that Sackfroth? That, I think, Augrel spoke.
Yeah. Alright, let's...
It's just a guess at this point.
Okay, let's try this one then. And I think if they don't respond, then I will try to just open the door myself then. So before Souma starts working on the lock, she will. Oh, I actually haven't spent any of my 4th level spells.
If it looks like Soma is about to do magic, Ottardo will point out that I've been learning a couple of words here and there from Augrel before he passed on.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I could tell you what to say in Sackfroth.
All right. Well, then Soma will say, well, I think I will try to solve this problem. I mean, we've had big issues with the languages lately, so last night I've sort of looked over the scrolls and tried to commit them to memory. So she will try to cast translate for Sackfroth on everyone.
Oh, nice.
And then?
And then we'll try to open the lock.
Okay.
It's Fury, right?
Here you go.
Well,
Nice.
That means critical success gives you 2 successes, is it? You unlock the lock or you achieve 2 successes toward opening a complex lock. Let me see how many you need. Okay, so you have 2 successes.
Oh well,
Try
it's
again.
that complex.
That's a fancy lock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. You're very impressed by the quality of that lock. But you can keep trying.
Nice.
So how complex this lock is now?
Well, it is complex, but you also clearly have gotten really, really good at this, and you managed to unlock it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I guess once we lock clicks, someone will just open the doors and moving on to sackcloth language. She will say, listen, guys. I mean, we're really not intending anyone any harm here. Oh.
And then you open the door.
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, and
they don't hear us.
That's right. As you open the door, you realize that, yeah, there may have not been anyone nearby, and you see a staircase leading a few steps up and you can see a door at the end of this, and it seems to be some sort of chamber that opens up a little bit further.
You want me to go first?
If you wish. I mean, I could try to just do the same thing again now, because if they are behind that, they're probably going to be behind that door.
Okay, yeah, like that.
All right, and as you move on further, you come into this room here, where on the southern wall there are sheets of webbing that just cover the entire wall between two doors. And as you step in, there's this shrill whistling sound that rings out. And as you shocked, you look in that direction, you see a little spider. Well, it's not that little. It's about the size of a dog, and it's kind of like nestled into those webs, and it whistles very loudly. And the next moment, the door over here swings open, and a drow stands in the doorway, hand crossbow at the ready. And it's actually even a repeating hand crossbow, and you can see a rapier on her side. She opens the door and she cracks a smile at you, but somehow it's the smile of a shark. So what your emotional response to this is. And in Elven, she says, "Ah, the surface dwellers. You have really shown yourselves to be quite resourceful. I thought you might eventually make it in here. Maybe Quara might have a use for you. Let's talk." And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Nice.
Right.
All right. Finally, some intelligent species that is not just here to kill you immediately.
And maybe they don't explode.
I wouldn't guarantee
We'll
that,
see.
but I think that's off to a good start. All right. Something I wanted to mention. So you guys have been impressively completionist so far. You've really made a point of sweeping every level. And that means by the book, you're currently a little over-leveled.
Well,
I mean, the whole point is, I think, of being thorough is, or being a little over-leveled is kind of the reward also of being so thorough. Like you did a good job, so now things are a little bit easier for a little while. And I think eventually the book will catch up. But I wanted to point this out to you. If it feels like it's not enough of a challenge in the battles, it would be fairly easy for me to throw in an elite template here and there to bump up the enemies. But I didn't want to do it right away because I want you to also feel like you being so thorough feels like it had an effect. So I think I would leave that up to you if you want to be a little more challenged or if you want to enjoy the spoils of being so thorough.
Well, I mean, listen. When we fought those darklings, our overlevelness was expressed only by Sir Ottardo not going down every 2 rounds. You know. So I think we're doing just fine right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think some of the ways that some of these encounters have gone, because you were over-leveled, you came out standing. I think some of those might have ended much more poorly. But yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there because that's just where we are. And
I personally don't mind if you want to throw an elite template on, but I also understand. I'm fine either way, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sam,
I mean,
what do you think?
I think we still encounter our fair share of scary encounters, like the one with all the darklings, and then the one just like when we were fighting in the area with all the caged creatures, and then the one got out. Like that was not, that wasn't a picnic of a fight. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're maybe we don't have to run away quite as much as we would have to, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
Okay.
I think maybe you could like occasionally add one combatant or like do one elite, so not maybe bump the whole combat up to our new level, but go halfway or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can work with that. Yeah. No, that works for me. I think I know what I can do. Yeah, cool. All right.
All right.
Okay.